The palace bells rang across the capital city of the Shivari homeworld. It was supposed to be a day of celebration. Human soldiers had arrived from Earth to join the alliance against the Vexir invaders. Hyun-woo stood in the grand hall wearing his best uniform, feeling small and out of place. The Shivari were giants. Queen Listara towered over everyone at 8 feet tall. Her skin looked like purple crystal, catching the light with every movement. She had 4 arms, each one graceful and strong. Her people treated her like a goddess. They bowed so low, their heads touched the floor when she passed. Hyun-woo was just a soldier. He was 32 years old and had been fighting for most of his adult life. His squad stood beside him. Ji-woo, his best friend and commander, kept adjusting his collar. Hana, their medic, whispered facts about Shivari culture that nobody asked for. "Their royal guard has never lost a battle in 300 years, Hana said quietly. "The queen herself is over 3 centuries old." Hyun-woo watched the tall warriors in silver armor standing around the throne room. They carried weapons that hummed with energy. Their faces were hard and proud. These were the legendary defenders who had saved a dozen worlds from destruction. The ceremony dragged on. Speeches in languages Hyun-woo did not understand. His translator earpiece helped, but the words felt empty. The Shivari leaders talked about unity and strength, but their eyes said something different when they looked at the humans. They saw primitives, newcomers, children playing at war. Earth had only joined the galactic community 50 years ago. Most alien species had been traveling the stars for thousands of years. Humans were the rookies, and everyone knew it. Then the alarms started screaming. At first, nobody moved. The sound was so sudden that everyone froze. Then the windows exploded inward in a shower of glass and fire. Hyun-woo hit the ground on instinct, rolling behind a pillar. His training kicked in before his mind caught up. Black shapes poured through the broken windows. The Vexir moved like insects, all sharp edges and too many legs. Their bodies were covered in dark armor that seemed to absorb light. They made clicking sounds that set Hyun-woo's teeth on edge. The royal guard reacted instantly. Silver armor flashed as they formed a wall around the queen. Their weapons fired streams of blue energy. Vexir warriors fell, but more kept coming. Too many. "Defensive positions!" Ji-woo shouted. The human squad scattered, finding cover. They were only 10 soldiers in a room built for thousands, but they were trained for this. Hyun-woo pulled his rifle and started firing. The weapon felt solid in his hands, familiar, real. He dropped 3 Vexir with quick, controlled bursts. Beside him, Hana fired her sidearm while dragging a wounded Shivari civilian towards safety. Then Hyun-woo saw something that made his blood turn cold. One of the royal guards collapsed, then another. They were not hit by weapons. They just fell, their bodies shaking violently. Purple foam came from their mouths. Their crystalline skin turned dark and cracked. "Poison!" someone screamed in Shivari. More guards fell. Within seconds, half of the queen's defenders were on the ground, convulsing. The Vexir had brought a new weapon, something designed specifically to kill Shivari. The remaining guards tried to hold the line, but they were failing. The Vexir pressed forward like a black tide. Queen Listara stood tall, fighting with 2 energy blades, cutting down enemies with centuries of skill. But Hyun-woo could see she was slowing down. Her movements became stiff. Her crystal skin began to darken. She was dying, too. "All human forces, evacuate immediately," a voice shouted over the radio. "The palace is lost. Fall back to the transport ships." Ji-woo grabbed Hyun-woo's shoulder. "We need to go. Now." But Hyun-woo was watching the queen. She was fighting her way toward a massive door at the far end of the throne room. Her people were fleeing in panic, running in every direction. She kept trying to reach that door, even as her legs shook. "The sacred chamber," Hana said, following his gaze. "That is where the emergency evacuation system is. It can save millions." Can anyone activate it? Hyunwoo asked. Only the Queen, Hana replied. It requires her genetic signature. Hyunwoo made a decision. It was probably stupid. It definitely violated every military protocol, but he made it anyway. Get everyone out, he told Ji-woo. His friend's eyes went wide. What? No. We leave together. She needs help, Hyunwoo said. That poison does not affect humans. I can move freely. You will die, Ji-woo said flatly. Maybe, but if she does not reach that chamber, millions die for sure. They stared at each other. Years of friendship hung between them. Ji-woo's jaw tightened. I am not leaving you. That is an order, Lieutenant, Hyunwoo said. He pulled rank for the first time in 5 years of serving together. It felt like swallowing broken glass. Ji-woo's face went hard, cold. Understood, Captain. The words came out bitter. He turned to the squad. Fall back, now! Hana grabbed Hyunwoo's arm. You are insane. Probably, he agreed. Give me your medical kit. She stared at him for a moment, then shoved her full medic bag into his hands. Do not die, you idiot! Then they were gone, running for the evacuation routes. Hyunwoo was alone in a palace full of death. He ran toward the Queen. Vexer warriors spotted him and changed direction. Their clicking grew louder, excited. They thought he was easy prey. Hyunwoo dropped the first 2 with headshots. The third got too close. He smashed it in the face with his rifle butt, then shot it point blank. Queen Lysitara had fallen to one knee. She was still 50 feet from the sacred chamber door. Her 4 arms shook as she tried to push herself up. Her crystal skin was almost completely black now. Hyunwoo slid to a stop beside her. Up close, she was massive. Even kneeling, she was taller than him. Her eyes were like liquid gold, and they focused on him with confusion. Human? Her voice was weak. Why are you still here? To help you, Hyunwoo said simply. I need no help from... She coughed, and black fluid came from her mouth. From primitives. Your Majesty, with respect, your pride can wait, Hyunwoo said. Your people cannot. She stared at him. Around them, the palace burned. Vexir warriors poured through every entrance. Her guards lay dead or dying. Her empire was falling. I cannot walk, she admitted. Each word seemed to cost her. Then I will carry you, Hyunwoo said. I weigh twice what you do. I know. Queen Lysitara looked at this small human soldier. This warrior from a species she had dismissed as reckless children, a species she had voted against, including in the Alliance Council, and she made a choice that went against everything her culture taught about royal dignity. Very well, she said. Hyunwoo helped her up, getting under her shoulder. She was incredibly heavy, but he had carried wounded soldiers before. He would carry her too. He had to. They started moving toward the sacred chamber. Behind them, the Vexir noticed and screamed in their clicking language. The hunt was on. The weight nearly crushed Hyunwoo. Queen Lysitara was not built like a human. Her body was dense, her bones like metal wrapped in crystal. Every step felt like carrying a boulder uphill. Sweat poured down his face. Left, the Queen gasped. The corridor to the left. Hyunwoo turned, his legs screaming in protest. The hallway ahead was filled with smoke and debris. Bodies of Shivari guards lay everywhere. The poison had worked fast and brutal. These legendary warriors had died without ever drawing their weapons. A Vexir warrior burst from a side room. Hyunwoo could not reach his rifle while supporting the Queen. The creature lunged, its blade-like arms raised high. At the last second, Queen Lysitara's upper right arm shot out. An energy blade materialized in her hand. She cut the Vexir in half with a single weak stroke. I can still fight, she said, breathing hard. A little. Save your strength, Hyunwoo replied. I will handle the small ones. She made a sound that might have been a laugh or a cough. You call them small? Each one could tear you apart. They could try, Hyunwoo said. They reached an intersection. 3 hallways branched in different directions. The queen pointed straight ahead with one of her lower arms. "The hidden passage, behind the statue." The statue was a carved figure of an ancient Shivari warrior. It stood 20 feet tall and probably weighed several tons. Hyunwoo looked at it, then at the queen. "How do I move it?" "You do not." "I must." She tried to stand on her own. Her legs gave out immediately. Hyunwoo caught her before she hit the floor. The impact drove him to one knee. "There must be another way," he said. "No. This is the only path to the chamber that the Vexier have not found yet." Her golden eyes met his. "I am dying, human. The poison is in my neural pathways. I have perhaps 15 minutes remaining." 15 minutes. The sacred chamber was still 10 minutes away through a palace swarming with enemies, and the queen could barely move. Hyunwoo thought fast. Hana's medical kit hung heavy on his shoulder. Inside were human medicines, human stimulants, things designed for human biology, which was completely different from Shivari biology. "I have an idea," he said. "You will probably hate it." "I already hate everything about this situation," the queen replied. "What is your idea?" "Human combat drugs, adrenaline boosters. They might give you a few minutes of strength." She stared at him. "Our biology is nothing alike. That could kill me instantly." "You said you have 15 minutes anyway." "True," she considered. "But if it fails, I die faster and cannot reach the chamber. Millions will not be evacuated." "If you cannot move the statue, millions die anyway," Hyunwoo pointed out. The logic was brutal but clear. Queen Lystera closed her golden eyes. When she opened them again, they held a look of grim acceptance. "Do it!" Hyunwoo pulled the auto-injector from the medical kit. It was loaded with enough stimulants to make a human soldier fight through severe injuries. He had no idea what it would do to a Shivari. "This will hurt," he warned. "Everything hurts," she replied. He pressed the injector against her neck and activated it. The drugs hissed into her bloodstream. For 3 heartbeats, nothing happened. Then Queen Lystara's entire body went rigid. Her crystal skin flared bright purple, then white-hot. She screamed, a sound that echoed through the empty halls. Hyunwoo held her, waiting for the convulsions to stop or for her to die. He had just gambled with a queen's life. If this failed, historians would remember him as the human who killed the great Lystara. Then, slowly, the shaking stopped. The queen's breathing steadied. Her skin returned to its normal purple, though darker veins now ran through it like cracks in glass. She stood up, by herself. "I feel," she said, testing her arms. "Strange, strong but wrong." "It will not last long," Hyunwoo said. 5 minutes, maybe less for your biology. Then we should not waste time." She walked to the statue, moving stiffly but with purpose. Her 4 arms gripped the stone figure. Muscles bulged under her crystalline skin. With a grinding sound, the statue slid aside, revealing a dark passage beyond. They entered the passage. The moment they did, Hyunwoo heard the clicking sounds behind them. The Vexier had found their trail. Queen Lystara shoved the statue back into place. It would not stop them long. The passage was narrow and low. The queen had to bend nearly double to fit. Hyunwoo led the way with his rifle raised. Emergency lights flickered along the walls, casting everything in red. "Why?" the queen asked suddenly. "Why what?" "Why did you stay? Your people were ordered to evacuate. You could be safe on a ship right now." Hyunwoo kept his eyes forward, scanning for threats. "Someone had to help you." "That is not an answer." "It is the only answer I have." Behind them, stone ground against stone. The Vexier were moving the statue. They had minutes at most. "I voted against your species joining the alliance," the queen said. Her voice was getting weaker again. The drugs were wearing off. "I said humans were too young, too reckless. that you would cause more problems than you solved. You were probably right, Hyunwoo admitted. Was I? You stayed behind to save someone who does not even believe your kind belongs among the stars. Your opinion of humans does not change the fact that your people need you, Hyunwoo said simply. Right and wrong are not complicated. Someone was in trouble. I could help. So I did. The Queen was quiet for a moment. Such a simple philosophy. Works for me. My people have complicated honor codes, ancient traditions. We believe strength must be earned through trials and time. Yet here you are. Proving strength has nothing to do with either. The passage opened into a larger corridor. Hyunwoo recognized it from the palace blueprints Hana had made them all memorize. They were close. Then the Queen stumbled. Hyunwoo caught her and felt how hot her skin had become. The drugs were not just wearing off. They were poisoning her now, fighting with the Vexer toxin already in her system. I cannot, she began. Yes, you can, Hyunwoo said firmly. 3 more minutes. That is all I need you to give me. I do not have 3 minutes. Then borrow mine. He pulled out another injector. The Queen's eyes widened. That will kill me for certain. Maybe. Or maybe you're tougher than you think. She laughed, a weak sound. You bet a queen's life on maybe? I am betting millions of lives on it, Hyunwoo corrected. You are just the delivery method. Behind them, the Vexer burst into the passage. Their clicks turned into shrieks of rage. Hyunwoo fired his rifle blind, not even looking. He heard bodies fall. Your choice, he said to the Queen. Fast! She grabbed the injector and slammed it into her own neck. This time the reaction was immediate and violent. She collapsed, her body seizing. Hyunwoo caught her and started dragging her forward. The sacred chamber door was right there. Right there. Vexir warriors poured into the corridor. Hyunwoo's rifle ran dry. He dropped it and pulled a fallen guard's plasma blade from the wall. He had trained with swords a very little. This was going to hurt. The first Vexer reached him. He swung the blade awkwardly. It connected more by luck than skill, cutting through the creature's torso. The second one was faster. Its claw raked across Hyunwoo's chest, tearing through armor and skin. He felt ribs crack. He killed it anyway. The third, the fourth, he lost count. His vision blurred. The plasma blade felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds, but he kept the Queen behind him. Nothing got past. Then Queen Listara's hand grabbed his shoulder. She was standing. Barely. Her skin was cracked like broken pottery, black veins spreading everywhere. But she was standing. The door, she said. Together they stumbled to the sacred chamber entrance. The Queen pressed her 4 hands against the smooth surface. Ancient symbols glowed, reading her genetic signature. The door opened. They fell inside. The door sealed behind them with a sound like a thunderclap. Outside, the Vexir screamed and pounded, but the chamber was built to withstand anything. They were safe, for now. Hyunwoo lay on the cold floor of the sacred chamber, trying to remember how to breathe. His chest burned where the Vexir had clawed him. Blood soaked through his torn armor. Every breath felt like swallowing fire. Beside him, Queen Listara was worse. Her crystal skin looked like shattered glass. Black veins covered her entire body. She lay completely still except for her labored breathing. The chamber was small, maybe 10 meters across. In the center stood a pillar of light, holographic displays floating around it. Ancient technology hummed with power. This was the heart of the Shivari evacuation system. From here, emergency portals could open across the entire planet. The device, the Queen whispered. I must activate it. She tried to sit up, failed, tried again. Hyunwoo crawled over and helped her. Together, they got her into a sitting position against the wall. How long do we have? Hyunwoo asked. The poison? She coughed, black fluid spattering the floor. I should already be dead. The human drugs are fighting it. Badly. But fighting it. Can you reach the device? I must. There is no alternative. She looked at him with dimming golden eyes. You need medical attention. I will live. You are bleeding badly. I have been bleeding before. Hyun-woo pulled off his damaged chest armor and examined the claw marks. Deep, but not fatal if he stopped the bleeding. He opened Hana's medical kit and pulled out emergency sealant. The foam hissed as it filled the wounds. It hurt worse than the original injury. The Queen watched him work. You are remarkably calm for someone who just fought 30 Vexer warriors. Panicking does not help. My people would say you are either very brave or very stupid. Probably both, Hyun-woo admitted. He finished sealing his wounds and looked at her. Your turn. There is no treatment for the poison. No Shivari treatment, Hyun-woo said. But you are full of human combat drugs now. Your biology is already mixed up. Maybe human medicine can help stabilize you. Or make it worse. You keep saying that, Hyun-woo pointed out. But you keep letting me try anyway. She made that sound again, the one between a laugh and a cough. Because I am out of options. Because my pride means nothing if my people die. Because... She paused. Because you are right. Hyun-woo gave her an injection of broad-spectrum stabilizers and antibiotics. They were designed for humans fighting alien infections. Who knew if they would help? But doing nothing meant she would die for certain. Tell me about your people, the Queen said while he worked. Your Earth. Why? Because I am dying and would like to understand why a human soldier is dying with me. Hyun-woo sat back against the wall across from her. Outside the chamber, they could hear the Vexir still trying to break in. The pounding was constant and rhythmic. Earth is small, he began. We have only one planet. Your empire has hundreds. We have been in space for barely 50 years. You have been traveling the stars for millennia. Yet you are here. Yes. Tell me why you fight, she said. Not orders, not duty, why you personally chose to be a soldier. Hyun-woo was quiet for a moment. When I was young, my city was destroyed in a war. Bombs fell from the sky. I was trapped under rubble for 2 days. A soldier found me, carried me out. He did not have to. He could have kept moving, searching for more important people, but he stopped for one scared kid. And that soldier inspired you? No, he died 3 days later, protecting refugees at a checkpoint. Hyun-woo looked at his hands. But he showed me that someone has to be willing to stop, to help, even when it is dangerous, even when it makes no sense. Because if everyone just keeps moving, everyone just saves themselves, then what are we? The Queen studied him with new eyes. We Shivari believe strength is the highest virtue. Power. Control. The ability to dominate others and shape the galaxy to our will. How is that working out? Hyun-woo asked. She laughed, really laughed this time, then coughed hard. Poorly, it seems. Our legendary warriors fell to poison without landing a single blow. Our impenetrable palace was breached in minutes. And I, the great Queen Listara, am alive only because a primitive human refused to accept the logical decision to leave me behind. I keep hearing that word, primitive. It is what we call your species. We prefer persistent, Hyun-woo said. Persistent, she repeated, testing the word. Yes, that fits better. The pounding outside suddenly stopped. Silence filled the chamber. It was somehow worse than the noise. They are planning something, Hyun-woo said. He checked his weapons. The plasma blade was depleted. His rifle was empty and broken. He had his sidearm with 1 magazine left. 15 shots. It does not matter, the Queen said. This chamber cannot be breached. It was built by the ancients before even my people discovered it. The walls are indestructible. Then why do you look worried? She met his eyes. Because we are trapped. The door only opens from outside now that it has sealed. We have emergency rations for perhaps 3 days. After that, we hope someone rescues us. The planet is lost, human. Who would come? My squad, Hyunwoo said with certainty. Jiwoo will come. I know him. He is probably already planning the rescue. One squad against an army? You have never met Jiwoo. They sat in silence for a while. The queen's breathing grew worse. The human drugs were losing their battle against the poison. Hyunwoo could see her fading. I have a legend among my people, she said softly. The prophecy of the unbound ones. It speaks of a young species that will come from distant stars. They will not have our strength or our age, but they will carry something we lost long ago. Hope, the legend says. Pure, stubborn hope in the face of impossible odds. You think that is us? I mocked the prophecy my entire reign, called it superstitious nonsense. But here you are, human. Here you are. Hyunwoo moved to sit beside her. Her crystal skin was cold to the touch. I need to activate the device. Tell me how. Genetic signature, she said weakly. Only royal blood. Then we get you to the pillar. I cannot move. Yes, you can. You just need help. He lifted her. She felt lighter now, her body failing. They moved to the central pillar together. 2 warriors from different worlds holding each other up. The queen placed all 4 hands on the pillar. Symbols flared to life, ancient script in a language Hyunwoo could not read. Maps appeared, showing the entire planet. Red zones marked Vexor occupation. Blue zones were still safe. The evacuation points, she said, her voice fading. I activate them now. Portals will open. Millions will escape. Do it. She pressed symbols in a sequence only she knew. The pillar thrummed with power. Across the planet, massive portals tore open in the sky. Hyunwoo watched the holographic displays as crowds of Shivari civilians rushed through the portals to safety. Hundreds of thousands, then millions. You did it, he said. We did it, she corrected. Then the pillar flashed bright red. Alarms screamed. The queen's eyes went wide. No, no, this is wrong. What is it? The activation drew massive power from the planetary grid. Every Vexir on the world knows exactly where we are now. She looked at him with horror. I just painted a target on this chamber. As if to confirm her words, the pounding started again. But this time, it was different. Louder, harder, and the walls were beginning to crack. The walls should not have been cracking. The sacred chamber was built by the ancients, beings far more advanced than any current species. But Hyunwoo watched hairline fractures spread across the smooth surface like spider webs. They brought something, Queen Listara whispered. Something powerful. The pounding continued, rhythmic and terrible. With each impact, the cracks grew wider. Dust rained from the ceiling. The chamber that had stood for 10,000 years was breaking. How long? Hyunwoo asked. An hour. Perhaps less. The queen slumped against the pillar, her strength completely gone. You should hide. When they breach, perhaps they will only want me. That is stupid. Excuse me? You heard me. That is a stupid plan. Despite everything, she smiled. You speak to your queen with such disrespect. You are not my queen, and we both know they will kill everything in this room. Hyunwoo checked his pistol one more time. 15 bullets. He had faced worse odds. Actually, no. He had never faced worse odds. This was going to be ugly. Tell me about your family, the queen said suddenly. Why? Because I do not want to die in silence. And because I want to know what the galaxy is losing when you fall here. Hyunwoo sat beside her, conserving his strength. I have a sister, older, smarter. She is a doctor on Mars colony, fixes people like I break things. She sounds wiser than you. Much wiser. She told me not to join the military, said I would get killed doing something heroic and stupid. He laughed without humor. Looks like she was right. Do you regret it? Your choice to stay? Hyunwoo thought about it honestly. No. Those millions you evacuated, they are alive because you reached this chamber. You reached it because I helped. That math works for me. Simple philosophy, she said, echoing her earlier words. Works for me, he repeated. The queen was quiet for a long moment. When she spoke again, her voice carried a weight of centuries. I have ruled for 300 years. I have made decisions that affected trillions. I shaped policy and commanded fleets. I thought I understood power. And now? Now I understand I knew nothing. Power is not forcing others to bow. Power is choosing to help when you could walk away. It is carrying someone who called you primitive. It is standing at a door with 15 bullets against an army. She looked at him. You have more power in your small human heart than I ever had on my throne. I am just a soldier. No. You are what we Shivari forgot to be. You are what we lost in our centuries of pride. The pounding grew louder. A chunk of wall fell away. Through the gap, Hyunwoo could see movement. Black shapes, hundreds of them. They are almost through, he said. He stood and moved to the door. This was where he would make his stand. The queen tried to stand but collapsed immediately. I cannot fight. Then activate your armor's recorder. Someone should know what happened here. She touched her chest plate. A small light blinked on. Recording. Good. Hyunwoo faced the cracking wall. When they come through, I will buy you time. Maybe your people will break through. Maybe they will recover your body and the recording. Maybe this story means something. Human? Hyunwoo. My name is Hyunwoo. Hyunwoo, she said softly. Thank you. For what? For reminding me why we fight, not for empires or glory, for each other. The wall exploded inward. Vexir warriors poured through the gap like black water. Hyunwoo opened fire. His first 3 shots were perfect, 3 dead. His next 4 dropped 4 more. 8 bullets left. The Vexir kept coming. He aimed for the heads, the weak points Hana had told them about. 9, 10, 11. 5 bullets left. A Vexir got close. He shot it point blank. 4 bullets. Another lunged. He dodged and fired. 3 bullets. They were everywhere now, filling the chamber. Hyunwoo grabbed a piece of broken wall and used it as a shield. He fired twice more. 1 bullet left. He made it count. The bullet hit the lead Vexir in the head, dropping it into the others behind. They tangled together for a moment. It gave him 3 seconds. He used those seconds to draw his combat knife. If he was going to die, he would do it up close. The first Vexir to reach him learned that humans were surprisingly dangerous with knives. The second one learned it too. The third one drove a claw through Hyunwoo's shoulder. He felt bones snap. He killed it anyway with a knife to the throat. His vision blurred. Blood loss or head injury, he could not tell. Maybe both. He stumbled back. More Vexir came. Always more. Behind him, he heard Queen Lysitara speaking. Her voice was weak but clear, recording everything for the armor's memory. This is Queen Lysitara. If you find this, know that I died with honor. But more importantly, know that I died alongside a warrior who showed me the true meaning of that word. His name was Hyunwoo, human, small and weak by our standards, but his spirit was greater than our entire empire. Hyunwoo barely heard her. He was focused on the fight, on keeping them away from the queen for just 1 more second. 1 more heartbeat. A Vexir blade caught him across the ribs. Another hit his leg. He went down on 1 knee. Then both knees. His knife fell from numb fingers. This was it. The end. He had lasted longer than he thought he would. That was something. Then he heard a sound that made no sense. A humming, deep and resonant. He looked back at the queen. She was glowing, her whole body shining with purple-white light. "What are you doing?" he shouted. "Saving you," she replied. "One last time." She reached out with all four arms. The pillar responded, energy flowing into her broken body. Hyunwoo realized what she was doing. The chamber's defenses could be activated manually, but it required the operator's life force. "No!" he yelled. "Stop!" "Too late," she said. She smiled at him. "Besides, you taught me something important today. Some things are worth dying for." The chamber exploded with light. A wave of energy rolled out from the pillar, disintegrating every Vexir instantly. They did not even have time to scream. The wave stopped just inches from Hyunwoo, leaving him untouched. Then it reversed, collapsing back into the pillar and into the queen. Hyunwoo crawled to her. She lay on the floor, her crystal skin fading to gray, but her eyes were clear. "The chamber is sealed again," she whispered. "Nothing can enter now. You are safe." "You killed yourself. I was already dying. The poison, your drugs. I had minutes at most." She coughed weakly. "Better to use those minutes for something. We could have... No, we could not." She reached up and touched his face with one hand. Her skin was cold as ice. "Listen, my people will come. The evacuation succeeded. The military will retake this world. They will find you. I do not want them to find just me." "Hyunwoo," she said his name with such kindness. "You stayed with me when you should have run. You carried me when I was too proud to ask. You fought for my people like they were your own. That is not duty. That is not orders. That is simply who you are. Stop talking like you are dying, because I am dying. We both know this." Her breathing grew shallow. "Promise me something. Anything. Tell them. Tell the galaxy what happened here. Tell them that strength without compassion is nothing. Tell them that age without wisdom is empty. Tell them..." She smiled. "Tell them a queen learned everything important from a simple soldier. You are not simple. Neither are you, my friend. Neither are you." Her hand fell away. Her eyes closed. The light in her crystal skin faded completely. Queen Lysitara, ruler of the Shivari Empire for 3 centuries, died in a small, sealed chamber, far from her throne. She died next to a human warrior who had given everything to save her. And Hyunwoo, bleeding and broken, sat with her in the silence. Outside, somewhere far away, the battle for the planet raged on. But in this small room, there was only grief. Hyunwoo did not know how long he sat there. Time lost meaning in the sealed chamber. He sat beside the queen's body, too tired and hurt to move. His wounds had stopped bleeding, but pain filled every part of him. His shoulder was definitely broken. Ribs, too. Probably internal bleeding. None of it seemed important. The queen was dead. Millions were saved, but she was dead. He had failed to protect her in the end. The emergency rations in the chamber would keep him alive for 3 days, maybe 4 if he stretched them. Water was not a problem. The chamber had its own supply, but Hyunwoo was not sure he wanted to wait that long. What was the point? He closed his eyes, just for a moment, just to rest. When he opened them again, he heard something. Voices, distant and muffled, but definitely voices, shouting in multiple languages. "Hello," he tried to call out. His voice came out as a croak. He tried again, louder. "Hello! Someone there!" The voices stopped, then came closer. Something heavy hit the chamber door from outside. Once, twice, then a familiar voice. "Hyunwoo! If you are alive, get away from the door!" Jiwoo. His best friend had come. Hyunwoo dragged himself away from the door, careful not to disturb the queen's body. He got maybe 3 meters before his strength gave out. "Clear!" he shouted. The door exploded inward, not broken but opened. The lock somehow bypassed. Light poured in, blinding after the dim chamber. Figures rushed through. Human soldiers. HFY warriors. Others he could not identify through the glare. Jiwoo reached him first, sliding to his knees. "You stupid, crazy, beautiful idiot." His friend's face was streaked with tears and dirt. "I told you not to die." "I tried," Hyunwoo said weakly. Then Hana was there, her medic kit already open. "Do not talk. Save your strength. You have 3 broken ribs, shattered shoulder, punctured lung, and more cuts than I can count. How are you alive?" "Stubborn," Hyunwoo managed. Other hands helped, stabilizing him. He heard Jiwoo giving orders, coordinating the rescue. But Hyunwoo's eyes were on the HFY warriors. They had entered the chamber and found their queen. The sound they made was like nothing Hyunwoo had ever heard, a wail of grief that seemed to shake the walls. They fell to their knees around her body, their 4 arms raised in a gesture of mourning. "She saved the evacuation," Hyunwoo said. "She reached the device. Millions escaped." A HFY commander approached. He was massive, even for their species, wearing armor covered in battle honors. His face was hard as stone. "Human, what happened here?" "We got to the chamber together. She activated the evacuation. Then the Vexir broke through. I tried to hold them off. She used the chamber's defenses to save me. It killed her." "You expect us to believe she sacrificed herself for you?" "I do not care what you believe," Hyunwoo said tiredly. "Check her armor's recorder. It is all there." The commander's eyes narrowed. He moved to the queen's body and carefully removed a crystal from her chest plate. He inserted it into a device on his wrist. Images flickered to life above it. A hologram. Everyone in the chamber fell silent. The recording played. Queen Listara's voice filled the room, explaining everything. The poison, the human drugs, Hyunwoo carrying her through the palace, his choice to stay when he could have evacuated, his impossible stand at the door. Then came her final words. His name was Hyunwoo, human, small and weak by our standards, but his spirit was greater than our entire empire. The hologram faded. The HFY commander stood frozen. Then, slowly, he turned to Hyunwoo. All the hardness left his face. He knelt, pressing his forehead to the ground in the deepest HFY bow. "Forgive me," he said. "I did not understand." Other HFY warriors did the same. One by one, they knelt before the injured human. Jiwoo looked confused. Hana stopped her medical work, staring. "What are they doing?" Jiwoo whispered. "Showing respect," Hyunwoo said. "I think." The commander rose. "The queen's dying wish must be honored. The recording will be sent to every world in the empire. The galaxy will know what happened here. They will know your name, Hyunwoo of Earth." That was 3 months ago. Now Hyunwoo stood on a platform before billions of watching eyes. His body had healed, mostly. The doctor said his shoulder would never be quite the same. He would always have a limp. The scars across his chest would never fade. He did not mind. They reminded him of what happened, of what mattered. Beside him stood the HFY commander who had found him in the chamber. His name was Dralkon, and he had become the temporary leader of the HFY people while they chose a new queen. The process would take years. The memorial ceremony was held on the HFY homeworld, now liberated from the Vexir. The palace had been destroyed, but the city lived. Millions of HFY filled the streets. Holographic displays carried the ceremony across hundreds of worlds. Dralkon spoke first, his voice amplified. "We gather to honor Queen Listara, who ruled us for 3 centuries. She was wise. She was strong. But in her final hours, she learned something more important than wisdom or strength. She learned compassion." The crowd was silent. Hyunwoo felt uncomfortable in his formal uniform. He did not like attention. He had tried to refuse this ceremony. Jiwoo had forced him to attend. "Our queen died with a human warrior named Hyunwoo," Dralcon continued. "A soldier from a species we dismissed as primitive. We believed our age made us superior. Our power made us worthy. We were wrong." Murmurs ran through the crowd. Dralcon raised his forearms for silence. Hyun-woo stayed when he could have fled. He carried our queen when she could not walk. He fought impossible odds to protect her. And when she died, he sat with her in the darkness, refusing to leave her alone. Dralcon turned to Hyun-woo. "He showed us what we had forgotten. That honor is not about strength. It is about choice." The commander pulled out a crystal pendant. It glowed with soft purple light. "This is the heart of the empire. For 3,000 years it has been worn only by our rulers. Our laws forbid anyone else from touching it." Hyun-woo's eyes widened as he realized what was happening. "Today, we change that law," Dralcon said. "By unanimous vote of the council, by the will of our people, and by the final wish of Queen Listara herself, we grant you citizenship in the Shivari Empire. We name you Prince Hyun-woo, guardian of the throne." "I cannot accept that," Hyun-woo said quickly. "You already have," Dralcon replied. "The queen adopted you as family in her final recording. That decision cannot be undone." "I do not want to be a prince." "I am just a soldier." "Then be a soldier who is also a prince." Dralcon placed the pendant around Hyun-woo's neck. It felt warm against his skin. "Wear this. Let the galaxy see that strength comes in many forms." The crowd erupted. Not just Shivari voices, but human ones too. Hyun-woo looked out and saw his squad in the front row. Ji-woo was crying openly. Hana was grinning. Other humans, diplomats, and soldiers stood alongside alien species from a dozen worlds. Earth's flag flew beside the Shivari banner. Equal, partners. The ceremony ended. Hyun-woo escaped as quickly as he could, finding a quiet balcony away from the crowds. He stood there, looking at the rebuilt city. Children played in the streets below, Shivari and human together. Things that would have been impossible a year ago. Footsteps behind him. Ji-woo appeared, carrying 2 bottles of something that smelled terrible. "Shivari celebration drink. Apparently it is traditional." "I am not drinking that." "Smart choice. I tried it. Tastes like battery acid." Ji-woo set the bottles aside and stood beside him. "You okay?" "I keep thinking about her," Hyun-woo admitted. "The queen. She should be here. She should see this." "Maybe she does, if you believe in that sort of thing. I do not know what I believe anymore." They stood in comfortable silence. Below, a Shivari child ran up to a human soldier and showed him a drawing. The soldier knelt to look at it properly, praising the child's work. Such a small moment. But it meant everything. "The galaxy is changing," Ji-woo said, "because of what you did. I did not do anything special. That is exactly why it is special. You just helped someone who needed help, and somehow that changed everything." Ji-woo clapped him on the shoulder. "The good one. You know what the Shivari are calling you in their language?" "I am afraid to ask." "The human who stayed. That is your title now. In their culture, names carry meaning, and that one means more than any rank or medal." Hyun-woo touched the crystal pendant at his chest. It pulsed with warmth, almost like a heartbeat. He thought about the Queen's final words, about teaching the galaxy, about showing them that age and power mattered less than simple kindness. "I should give a speech or something," he said. "Say something important." "You already did." Ji-woo pulled up his communicator. "The Queen's recording has been viewed 3 billion times across the galaxy. Your words are being taught in schools. Right and wrong are not complicated. Someone was in trouble. I could help, so I did. Simple. Perfect. I hate speeches. I know. That is why yours are good." They returned to the ceremony. More speeches followed, more honors. Hyun-woo accepted them all with quiet grace, the way the Queen had taught him. When they finally asked him to speak, he kept it short. Queen Listara taught me something in her final hours, he said to the billions watching. She taught me that learning never stops. Not after 3 years, not after 3 centuries. We are all students. We all have more to discover about being good to each other. He paused, choosing his words carefully. Humans are not special. We are not better than anyone else. We just happen to remember something simple, that every life matters, that helping is not weakness, that choosing to care is the bravest thing anyone can do. He looked directly at the cameras. So remember the Queen, remember her wisdom, remember her sacrifice, but mostly remember that she changed because she let herself learn from someone she thought was beneath her. We should all be that brave. The speech ended. The ceremony ended. Life continued. Months became years. The alliance grew stronger. Humans and Shivari worked together, learning from each other. Other species joined, drawn by the example. And on quiet nights, when Hyunwoo looked at the stars, he thought about a queen who learned to change, about the cost of pride and the value of humility, about choosing to help when it would be easier to walk away. He never forgot her. The galaxy never forgot either of them. Their story became a legend. The alien queen and the human who stayed. A reminder that sometimes the most powerful thing anyone can do is simply choose to care. And that, Hyunwoo thought, was a legacy worth dying for. Worth living for. The queen had been right about one thing. Some things truly were worth everything.